Hi again, this is Mr. Palmer from Clear Lake Intermediate. We're going to talk about the second trumpet etude now. And if you'll come in here, let's take a look at some of the specifics about it. You'll check our key signature first. You always want to look at that. You'll notice that we have two sharps. So those are going to be F sharp and C sharp. Now if we have sharps, that also means that we don't have any flats. And so we need to be thinking about B natural, which is going to be the first note of the etude. And also, this may be new to you. Our time signature is 3/8 time. So remember that that top number means that we're going to have 3 beats in a measure, and the bottom number means that we're going to give the 8th note 1 beat. So the best way to illustrate that is here at measure 3. You can see that we have 3 8th notes, and we have 3 beats: 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. Also notice right here that a dotted quarter note is going to fill up an entire measure. So these two measures together would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's a simple way to start with 3/8. Notice here that these first two measures have 6 16th notes each, and so if there are 3 beats and there are 6 of these, that means that a 16th note is going to get half a beat. So those two measures would be counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, if I'm pointing to it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we can mix those rhythms up a little bit. If you look down here to measure 10, we have these 2 8th notes, again, that each get a beat, and we've got a couple 16th notes sandwiched in between. So that is going to be 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, same thing here in measure 12. Measure 14 is kind of similar, except we're going to put the 16th notes at the back end of the measure now, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and we have it a couple times. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1. And then finally, measure 22 and 23 are going to give us other variations on how these 16th notes and 8th notes are working out. So measure 22, we've got 16th notes at the beginning, 1 and 2, and then that's going to be 3 and. So that measure would be 1 and 2, 3 and 1, 1 and 2, 3 and 1. And then I don't believe we've had this variation yet. Measure 23 is pretty similar to how we had 22, except we're going to end it on an 8th note. 1 and 2, 3, 1. Okay. Note-wise, there are a lot of accidentals in here, and again, keep in mind we have F sharp and C sharp as defaults, but here you'll see an A sharp. A sharp might be new to you, but over here we're reminded that A sharp is just the same thing as B flat. So anytime you see A sharp, just think first vowel for that. Don't think that it is B flat, because it's A sharp here. It might get a little bit confusing. Over here you'll see that we have another couple of accidentals here, G sharp, which you're used to from your concert G scale and things like that, and then another A sharp, again that's going to be B flat, and then more G sharps along here. Measure 15 has another A sharp, 17 A sharp. Measure 20, there's a D sharp. Now if you're new to D sharps, those are going to be the same thing as E flat, so that one's going to be second valve. And then keep in mind that these two are going to be E naturals. Both of those are open. One thing I haven't talked about a whole lot is going to be the dynamics in here. We're going to start kind of medium. We'll have a crescendo and then back off real quick. This is going to stay about the same here. 17 is going to drop down to piano, and then we're going to crescendo all the way up here to measure 20, and then diminuendo, that's going to mean to back off. We'll return to piano, and then the RIT is short for retardando, which means to slow down, and so you'll hear me finishing the etude a little bit slower. I'm going to start this, instead of keeping it with a dotted quarter note beat, I'm going to consider the 8th note to get the beat, and I've got the metronome set at 88. So here is the song under tempo, and if you're practicing with a metronome, then it would be a good idea to gradually work up to dotted quarter note equals 50.